and welcome to another episode of Tax File. I am your host, Laure Bala Hassan, here to break down tax matters in a way that's informative and relatable. Here's what we've got lined up for you today. Tax news, the latest updates and developments in the tax world. Did you know? Featuring some insights you should know. Vox Pop, we hit the streets to hear the public opinions on today's topic. Knowledge Zone, simplifying tax concepts just for you. Professional insights, experts' analysis to keep you ahead. What's on the net? The tax conversations trending online. It is a bumper episode. Don't go away. Let's begin with the news. Now the news. The Special Duties Group organized a retreat designed to enhance their role in fostering collaboration between intergovernmental agencies. The focus of the retreat was to strengthen bridges and build robust partnerships essential for improving revenue collection process. The initiative aimed to re-energize their mission and ensure better coordination and synergy among key stakeholders. In the quest for efficient and sustainable revenue generation, Swateku has the reports.
Chief of Staff Tayo Kole-Osho, in his speech, emphasized the need to move towards compliance, stating that any tax administration aspiring to be world-class must drive compliance. He asserted that compliance is the future of tax administration. Speaking at the retreat, the coordinating director of the Emerging Taxpayers Group, Kabir Abba, pledged his partnership with the Special Duties Group, urging for more collaboration by deploying new approaches to solidify existing relationships between the groups. The coordinating director of the Medium Taxpayers Group, Dr. Dick Erie, in his message, likened the roles of the Special Duties Group to a bond that brings the service and its stakeholders together. The retreat underscored the importance of collaboration, compliance, and building strong partnerships to achieve the service's revenue collection goals.
Meanwhile, the Support Service Group of the Federal Inland Revenue Service also held a retreat themed Strengthening Support for Revenue Optimization. The convener of the retreats, Muhammad Lawal Abubakar, assured the service of his group's commitment to providing the necessary support to achieve the 25.02 trillion naira target. He acknowledged the challenges posed by bureaucracy in civil service, but expressed optimism in the team's ability to overcome these obstacles and support the service in meeting this year's revenue goals. Aisha Abdulkader reports.
Coordinating Director of the Large Taxpayers Group reiterated her confidence in the Support Service Group, emphasizing that their support is crucial for surpassing last year's revenue collection. The retreat emphasized the importance of collaboration, dialogue, and resource allocation in achieving the service's revenue optimization goals.
The Communications and Liaison Department, C&LD, of the Federal Inland Revenue Service recently held an in-house training session to educate its staff on effective navigation of the FIRS website. The training, which aligned with the service's ongoing operational reform agenda, took place at the office of the director and was attended by the C&LD leadership and staff.
There are two ways which you can search the website. Like something happened over the weekend. Somebody called me and was asking how he can register his company as a contractor for FIRS. And I said I didn't know, but let me check the website. So I went and tried to quickly check the menus and all of that, and I didn't find anything. So I now thought to search here, and I searched invitation. I was looking for invitation to tender or anything like that, and I found this, and this quickly now took me to the information that I was looking for.
The Mobushi Emerging Tax Office (METO) has launched its 2025 tax revenue drive while recognizing 25 taxpayers for their dedication to fulfilling tax obligations. The award ceremony took place recently during the Stakeholder Engagement and Taxpayer Appreciation Day. The tax controller of the METO, Mrs. Chinwe Ofili Ikbazu, described the event as a key milestone in achieving her performance objectives. Ejura Etu reports.
Dr. Zach Adedeji, the Executive Chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, represented by Mr. Collins Omokaro, Special Advisor on Communication and Advocacy, emphasized the importance of partnership between the service and taxpayers. Mrs. Yadiat Oyeniyi, Director of the Emerging Taxpayers Department, outlined the FIRS strategies for 2025.
Effective allocations, efficient utilization of resources, and timely reporting of activities are all part of being accountable. When we take ownership of our tasks and decisions, we create an environment where productivity strives and the overall goals of the service are achieved efficiently.
And that's it on the news segment. And now to our Did You Know segment.
Did you know FIRS has over 100 offices across the nooks and crannies of the nation? Visit www.firs.gov.ng to locate the nearest office to you.
Let's join Mariam for the Vox Pop.
Hello and welcome. My name is Mariam Julie Adura. Do you know your rights as a taxpayer? That's what we set out to find out today in the central area of Abuja. Come with me.
My rights as a taxpayer is for for me. The tax that I pay is for the development of my community, my country, and the rights I have is that since I'm paying tax, these amenities should be provided.
My right is to pay tax now. Abi?
Your responsibilities.
My responsibility is to pay tax for the country, ba? Then it's left for the country to use it the way it's supposed to be. But if they don't use it the way it's supposed to be, then what is the essence of paying tax? We are just paying tax without at least we don't see the useful of the tax.
Thank you, sir.
I'm a civil servant, I'll be paying tax. I don't see the importance of I don't see the achievements. So
Okay, first of all, I don't pay tax.
Okay.
Second of all, if I'm to pay tax, I have to take care of my bills. Is it paying bills or motor park or the rest of them? Where I park car, if I have car.
Thank you.
I have to pay the tax because it's an obligation or it's due on me to pay the tax in order for the federal government to use it for the necessary things in order to develop my country as a Nigerian.
So what are your rights as a taxpayer?
Yeah. In Nigeria, anyway, my right is to just get the benefit of what I paid for. But in Nigeria, I don't think we have a right to. We have a right anyway, but it's not being given. I don't know how to put it, but if I pay my tax, I should be expecting the good thing to be done with that money in order to be happy with what I pay for. But I don't know.
Basically, my right as a taxpayer is to have a secure environment to do my business and to live, not to live in fear, because I believe these tax will pay our revenue to develop our society and the economy. So definitely, I should have access to good medical health care that are not overpriced, subsidized food, good schools, good infrastructure, good road. Those are my rights as a taxpayer, and I feel the government owe me this as a good citizen, a law-abiding citizen.
Apart from maybe your tax relief, it is the day you start your business that the federal government of Nigeria expects you to pay your tax. Even if that is not in their template, the people that they send as an enforcer, that is what they are doing. Am I not entitled to good road and others if I'm a taxpayer? Am I not entitled to it? That is why I said I don't know whether they are giving them anything. I don't know. I think it would have been better if the money that is being collected as tax is being put to use for the people to enjoy as benefit. But in Nigeria, it's another different thing entirely.
I travel many countries in Europe, in Asia. I know what tax is meant for. If you are paying tax, it means the government will provide all facilities for you: water, roads, health care, education, everything. You know you are paying tax. But here, the situation is in a reverse case. You pay your tax, you don't know, some even pay, they don't know they are paying. So, but to me, as an elite, I know paying tax is a very good thing if the government will utilize it properly for the masses. My responsibility.
What are your rights?
My right as a taxpayer, first and foremost, I have to pay tax. Being a nationalist and a citizen of a country, this is my right. I have to pay, and then I have to ask what the government is doing with my tax. That's my right.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Over to you, Ashu, for the Knowledge Zone.
Hello and a warm welcome to Knowledge Zone. I am Ashu Abe, your host. Today we'll be looking at the rights of taxpayers. As a taxpayer, you do have rights, some of which are the rights to be informed, assisted and heard, the right to be issued tax identification number TIN, the right to confidentiality and secrecy, the right to quality service, the right to complain and seek redress, the right to tax representation, the right to pay the only and correct amount of tax, the right to objection and appeal, the right to be notified of a tax audit, the right to be issued tax clearance certificate, TCC, the right to tax refund, the right to demand proper identification from tax officials, the right to report cases of improper behavior, the right to volunteer useful information to tax authority, the right to know tax obligations, and so much more.
And finally, let's go over to the professional insights for in-depth knowledge on today's topic.
Tax evasion is any omission or an act by a taxpayer to deliberately, fraudulently reduce its tax liabilities. What this means for the country is that government is unable to have access to the needed funding to provide social amenities. In the FIRS 2022 report, the tax to GDP ratio of Nigeria was put at about 11%, when we have some other countries in Africa having as high as 25 to 28%. What this means is that the Nigerian government is losing money on a yearly basis, monies that would have been available to do social infrastructure. Therefore, tax investigation is a needed tool to correct this anomaly and ensure that all the needed revenue are brought into the government coffers for government use. According to the enabling laws of the FIRS, the FIRS investigators have different powers with which they conduct their activities. There is power to access your land, there is power to request for information, there is power to freeze your account, power to investigate, and a whole lot of them. However, different strategies are deployed when these powers are brought to use. The FIRS makes sure that its tax investigation officers carry out a very detailed risk analysis, which tells us the areas of focus. There are times that you have tons and tons of data, but your risk analysis will provide you the exact data that you should be looking at, which is the most important. The FIRS as an institution has also developed its own in-house data mining tool by the name of TaxProMax. This platform provides investigators a first-hand analysis of the tax returns submitted by taxpayers. They don't see this at the front end, but the tax officers see this at the back end. And from that point, they're able to determine which company to review or audit or investigate. There are also collaborations with third parties, such as the banks, the customs, the Nigerian Communication Commission, any agency that warehouses data, because data is life. You need data to be able to prosecute, to identify, and go after any recalcitrant taxpayers. The challenges that tax officers face during tax investigations are enormous. Chiefly among them is the lack of records by businesses, followed by the resistance of these businesses to even allowing the tax officers carry out their duties. The issue around access to third-party data is also key. And while we also have issues around political interference by the bigwigs who would stop you from doing your work, the challenges are enormous. There's also the issue of slow process in the area of judicial arbitration. When a taxpayer, wants to take the legal angle to resolving issues with you, it takes time for these things to get executed. So to mitigate against these challenges, the FIRS is now following the big data, which involves the data analytics, using the platforms that I've earlier highlighted, TaxProMax, the data mining from third parties, and as well training and retraining its staff to ensure that we minimize the incidences of corruption during tax investigation exercises. And the best guide for any tax officer is to follow the tax investigation manual, which will safeguard you even when there are interferences on the cases that you handle. The end result of tax evasion is to reduce the tax liabilities. Therefore, the taxpayer focuses on anything that will reduce his income illegally in this instance, or anything that will make him have access to claim fictitious expenses and tax reliefs. So if you check the books of a taxpayer, it is either income is being suppressed or expenses are being inflated. It can be taken through whatever scheme. It can be a scheme to declare losses persistently, a scheme to increase and doctor falsify records. Whatever the scheme is, the main purpose is to reduce the tax liability. The FIRS has now introduced the e-invoicing platform, whereby all the invoices that must be that would allow you to have to claim input VAT are now being directly channeled to that platform. You, the taxpayer, can view them and take advantage of the reliefs that are available, while the tax authorities also can deliberately see them anytime the platform is engaged. There's also the solution around country-by-country reporting. This is to cover international corporations who have businesses across the world. Instead of underdeclaring their income in Nigeria by way of not telling the truth about their operations outside the country, the Nigerian tax system has also gotten a buy-in into the country-by-country reporting and ensuring that all international entities report their activities in all the countries that they operate, thereby giving little or no room for underdeclaration of their operation. Artificial intelligence is the current trend, and the FIRS is not left behind in this trend. Modules have been developed in the backend to ensure that the service take full advantage of AI. In the interim, the service is deploying and using the existing platform to mine data from all our third-party partners towards having a very good tax investigation exercise whereby all evasions are identified and dealt with adequately. Data mining and access to third-party platform has greatly helped the tax investigation department in uncovering tax evasion schemes.
Welcome to What's on the Net. I am Amina Adiola Abbas. Today on X, @Blesso4Real says, "Hello, good morning. Please, I'd like to find out why the bank is requesting I do an update in my TIN that was issued to me in January 2024. Well, @Blesso4Real, the bank may request you to update your tax identification number TIN with the FIRS if your company was registered as an inactive during its initial registration, or if it is yet to be registered on Tax Pro Max. To address this, simply visit the nearest tax office or the tax office under the jurisdiction of your business operations. Obtain an update form, complete it with the company's details, and your TIN will be activated instantly." On X, @JudyE says, "You guys sent me my TIN number without a certificate. How can I get my certificate?" Hi Judy, there is no certificate issued for a tax identification number TIN by the FIRS. However, there are certificates available for VAT registration and tax clearance. The only document validating the existence of a TIN is the TIN printout, which is typically in PDF format. You can obtain this from any of our offices nationwide, either as a soft copy or a hard copy. If you require a VAT registration certificate or a tax clearance certificate, you can either apply online or visit the nearest tax office.
And that's it on today's episode of Tax File. We hope you gained valuable information and a new perspective on today's tax topics. Until next time, I remain your host, Laure Bala Hassan. FIRS, simplifying tax, maximizing revenue.